Hi, it's Kim. Thanks for joining me today. Today I am going to plant a glass block terrarium. I found this at, let's see, was it a Goodwill? It was a Goodwill store. Yeah, it was while I was out searching for aquariums, and that video may or may not already be up on the channel, but you can check for that one. I did find one, spoiler alert. But this, I've measured it, and it's about a 7.5 inch square block. And these are for building windows, things like that, even dividers for your home. But I saw an event advertisement for one of the growers around here. I think they're having it in March sometime, and it was to make little terrariums or water, I don't know, what do you call it, like a water display for your water plants, like a little tiny indoor water plant display. But I'm going to use it for an underground semi succulent terrarium, and I'm just going to decorate it as if it was underwater plants. But it does have an opening, and I've measured the opening. I think you can see that. It's about an inch wide, a little bit more than an inch wide, and about 3.5 inches long for me to get everything in there. I see them for sale. Usually they come in like sets of 5, like for $49 or something like that. But I was like overjoyed to just find a single one, because I would want to start out with a single one. But here we go. I have gathered my poultry grit as the stone aggregate to put in there, a little bit of horticultural charcoal, and from the dollar store, $1's worth of pretty stones. And then I have my soil. Oops, here we go. I have my soil already mixed up, fairly rich soil, but good draining soil, because this particular pot will not have drainage. There's no way there's holes in the bottom of this, so you just have to be careful how you water that. Now, I have some more delicate tongs, but of course I couldn't locate them this morning when I'm ready to do my video. So I've tested it. I think I'll be able to, get things in and out. And I planted things in a bottle terrarium where the little opening was only about that big, and I managed. So I'm hoping that I can manage this. Okay, and I'm going to use some of this Crassula muscosa. I think it looks like maybe something growing under the sea. I don't know if the camera will focus on that real close, but I think it looks like coral growing. So that's what I'm going to use, and I have quite a bit of it over there, so I've just harvested a little bit. I've got a few swatches of the coral, or I'm sorry, it's a watch chain, the sedum muscosa, and then I have I think that's maybe ghost plant. I'll have to show you close-ups of these. And this is the Campfire. I don't know how much of this I can fit in there. And then I think these are the Topsy Turvy. I took those off, but I'll show you where I harvested those in a little close-up. And I'll play that over the top of this so you can see more close-up what I'm going to be using. So, a few decorative shells to put in there if I have room. And I did make sure that they were the right size that I could fit through this opening. But this is a super heavy glass block, but I can set it anywhere. I could set it on, you know, a tabletop, wooden tabletop, dining room table. This probably would fit some windowsills if you were, you know, comfortable with the plants being in the bright window. Or perhaps you'd put it in a window that doesn't face a lot of sunlight or has filtering trees outside. So let's get started and get this planted. Now, let's see. I think I will put the soil in. I hope we're not getting too big of a glare. I'm just going to put a layer of this in there. See what it looks like. Okay, that does give me a pretty decent layer. And then I'm going to put the stone around it. Make sure I don't have any hard lumps. And then I'm going to put some stone in there so that we have I don't know, something that in my mind somewhere is telling me it'll make a good underwater experience. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead now and, charcoal is so dusty. I'll have it probably all over me, and knowing me, all over my face, but I'm just tend to get just a little bit messy. Okay, let me see if I can scoop this. Okay, that's a little bit. As you can see, that might be about, probably not even a half cup. I don't know where to put it so the light would shine on it, but I don't think I'm going to put the whole thing. Just enough to help sweeten. That's probably more like about a quarter of a cup. So let me stir a little around in here. And then more soil. Okay, now I don't do any proper layering because I don't feel that you need a quote-unquote rock drainage layer, because the roots will sink to where the roots are going to sink. That's just how it is. That's how I believe. And that you may believe differently and want to put yours as precise as you feel like it needs to be. Now this is poultry bread. I just thought it would add a little bit of, I don't know, maybe a beach sand look down in there. And I guess for some that would be a prevention of maybe gnats, bugs trying to get into the soil. Okay, now that's what I think is going to look pretty good. I'll see if I can zero in on that so you can see. There. Now for my plants, I think I will go for just the main swatch of these coral-like plants. Watch chain, and it is Crassula muscosa, and I have had it bloom for me before when I've brought it in from outdoors over the summer. I have brought it in, and it has done very well. I think I will need the tongs if those are going to work for me. Wish I could find my other. Okay, that little broken piece. Now there's a tiny little broken piece down in there, and that broken piece will just root because that's the way this plant is. I'm just kind of pushing the soil and the sand right up over it, so it will just kind of sink in. Now let me see, I might want that to be a little bit more centered on this side. I hope you can tell. It always drives me crazy when I can't see what someone is doing when they do one of these videos. But let me see. I think I might want it to stand up just a little bit more. Oops, pulled it right out of the soil. I think I've got it worse. Let me hold it up like this and get it down into a groove. There. I think that's going to have to work. Okay, now I want these that have the tiniest bit of root on the bottom of them, I just want to place them down onto the top of the soil, and I think they'll just straighten up as they start to match the soil growth, or I should say the light source. These two light blue ones. Put him over here in the corner. Can just barely get my finger down in there. And then I think I'll put this one kind of right next to it. There. Now. Okay. A little bit closer. Now, turn it around, and I think I will I'm going to try the shell right down here next to these Campfire. Now the Campfire is probably going to get pretty big, so he may need to come out when the size gets a little bit too big for the area where it's planted in. I think that looks pretty good. Just underneath the shell, but he should turn toward the light. Okay, now that's what we've got. It's probably a little hard to see. I'll see if I can zero in. I want to straighten this one up just a little bit. Now, I am going to add just a little bit more of the pumice rock. Now, I have some little chopsticks over there, but where I've got the pumice rock down into the top of some of those little plants, I'll knock that off. But I think that looks pretty good. Now, I won't water this today. I'll wait and water this tomorrow, so everything will get a chance to kind of, see where it's going to be, because I've just harvested these, but these two Topsy Turvy, if that's what they are, they had not developed any roots because I just pulled them off. Now, these other Campfire Crassula, they have developed roots, so they should just acclimate real easily. But I think it's going to look pretty good. And then I'll expect the coral reef to kind of